Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Critical Podcast. My name is Jimmy Good, and I'm your host. And joining me this week are my go-to podcast compadres, Mr. Joe Lever.
Hello, Mr. Jimmy Good.
Oh, thank you. Hello. And Mr. Levi Fletcher.
What's up, guys?
That's good. It didn't shoot to you, but you can. He's down here. You can see him, right? You can see him.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
There we go. Excellent. Because sometimes Google Hangouts, man, it's just playing with my heart. Tearing up my heart. No, I'm not doing that here. All right. Sorry, guys. I grew up with three sisters, so there's a lot of there's boy bands in my mind, man. It's just in my heart, just singing away. Anyway, thank you all for joining us here today. We like to talk about everything in entertainment, pop culture. I'm talking movies, I'm talking games, I'm talking TV, I'm talking music, I'm talking theme parks, I'm talking all this stuff. But let's jump into a little bit of news first. First thing, forgot this was on the docket from last week, but I saw this pop up. I just wanted to mention it briefly because Disney, what they love to do, they love to get their claws in an actor or actress, keep them forever. Sounds like Angelina Jolie might be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the near future. She's going to be playing one of the Eternals potentially, which if you guys aren't familiar with the Eternals, and I wasn't, I had to look them up. Super powerful race from space. You know, they can do a bunch of things. They're all superhuman-y, over the top, way more powerful than people, but she might be starring in them. And technically Thanos is an Eternal or a Deviant, which is kind of like an offshot of the Eternals. So we technically know what the Eternals are capable of. So think of just vanilla Thanos, like out without the gauntlet, messing up the Hulk and stuff like that. That's what these folks are. Pretty cool people. Anyway, do either of you guys care about this at all at this point? I know Endgame is on the horizon, but like there's something after this, and Angelina Jolie might be thrust upon us.
I feel like it's gonna be hard to top the damage done by Endgame. Like what more can you do? Like where can you go from something like this that's so catastrophic, and you know what can really top the next big bad?
And that's maybe what they're trying to do is kind of introduce like maybe Galactus is the next big thing or some other crazy like insane threat on top of that. I'm not sure. And I know that some of us have seen Maleficent. Joe, I forget if you've seen Maleficent.
No,
I was going to say, so I don't know how big of not that you have to watch that and then you're an Angelina Jolie fan. You can still love Tomb Raider. All right, guys, you can still love Salt. But Joe, any interest in Angelina Jolie being on the silver screen alongside the other Marvel counterparts?
I don't know. She's high caliber and all, but a bit odd.
The way you speak of her is like a rifle. She's high caliber and all, you know. She looks pretty nice, you know. Take her out hunting and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Levi said, it's hard to top what they've already done. But then again, I think after Endgame, that's almost where I'm going to start to fall off a little bit because I don't want to say I grew up with this Marvel universe that we know up until this point, but I kind of have. I mean, since I was 18 years old, for crying out loud. So it's hard not to be committed to it and see it through. Who, from what we currently know character-wise, is going to be involved in whatever they're introducing, that'll have a lot to do with whether I'm interested or not. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we already know Iron Man dies, so he's gone. So I'm already like at a lukewarm 60 degrees. I'm almost 1 foot out of the tub. Whoever else dies, I mean, that could just seal the deal for me.
It's sure. Cap. I think Cap and Iron Man are both going to die.
You got to save these predictions for their prediction shows.
It's not even a prediction. Their contracts are up, man. There ain't no more money.
Robert Downey Jr. just took to Twitter. He's like, Iron Man's toast. R.I.P. Don't look for me. Like, oh, geez.
If one more person accidentally calls me Tony Stark, I'm gonna kill him.
That'd be amazing. And he's like, I can do that now. Disney will allow me to do that. They call it a freebie. Everybody gets one. They're like, you can kill a person. We're okay with it.
No, in all seriousness, I think a lot of it has to do with how well it ties into where they currently are, and also how what's the word? I mean, we're already getting pretty spacey. You know, Guardians of the Galaxy I enjoyed, but it starts to get a little. It's not as adjacent parallel. It's more so perpendicular,
sure.
And then coming back and then back to the main story. It kind of. It's okay, but the further and further craziness it gets to be, like maybe the less interested I'm going to become. They've done a good job of making their films thus far very appealing to not only the mature adult market, but also the, what would you say, 10, 12 to, the teenage market.
Yeah.
So it's got a broad reach or demographic already. If they start to get too alien-y, comic booky, and they don't keep, and there isn't a maturity level there anymore, then it just degrades it for me, and I'm not quite as into it. I don't mind them embracing the whole comic book accuracy or the comic booky stuff. Sometimes that can be good, but if you like oversaturate it too much with some of that, it starts to get a little Play-Doh-y for me, and I'm just kind of
sure.
So we'll see. We'll see what we need more. I mean, just because they're introducing Angelina Jolie and Eternals, whatever. Okay, could be freaking awesome. Could be a dud. I don't know. The whole what's the guy's name that played the Planet guy? The creator?
Ego, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's starting to get a little nuts, but okay. I mean, if they start going beyond that and stuff, the whole Doctor Strange thing, when they get to the like galactical type people, I forget who that was.
Dormammu.
Yeah. When they start to get to that level, it starts to,
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, I get it. It's part of the comics and all that, and those are existing characters, but I mean, let's try and keep it somewhat relatable.
Sure. Yeah.
I said this about Naruto too. Like, there's a point where you love like this. They're ninjas, right? You love that they're just ninjas and they got these cool moves, and then they start throwing worlds at each other, and it's like, what? Like you get so outlandish that it's not interesting.
Outlandish. That's the word.
Very good. Yeah, I wonder if this is response to 2 or 3 different things. Like, first off, the Inhumans being like a movie that got turned into a TV show, and then they're like, all right, we still kind of want like our X-Men in space that aren't going to be Inhumans. So we've got the Eternals, but now we've got the X-Men, and the X-Men are all about being relatable. So I also wonder too, with the popularity of Thanos, if this is going to be not so much even like a trilogy or saga or whatever, but if they want to do a prequel and it's like Thanos's upbringing, or he's part of this, or or something like that, where they can talk more about his backstory. Because to me, that's the hook. You don't want a prequel? That's what Captain Marvel was, right? Like, I mean,
hey, we already know how it ends. Surprise! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! He wants to kill everybody, half of everybody. Sorry.
I kind of half agree with his mentality. I get it.
Yeah, we can all understand him. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm interested in, obviously, like a lot of with Guardians of the Galaxy. Even I want, like, the space stuff's cool. I would love a more serious take on it. So that's kind of what I'm hoping this group would be. But at the same time, I'm with you guys. Like, if it gets too outlandish and too crazy, it's hard to really care about them. And if they're all just as powerful as Thanos, like, you got to be fighting something at that level that could almost kill all of them. So that's like, they just kind of keep one-upping themselves, and they don't have to do that. Like, you don't need to like kind of do this whole like climb the ladder thing. Just get like your base, get your core, man. Like get your new core of X-Men and stuff.
Are the Eternals villains or
no? So they're good guys, and they fight their twisted cousins, the Deviants, which are like Thanos, that group. So like they're always kind of warring with each other. That seems to be the thing. So they would fight each other. It kind of be like a Kree-Skrull situation, kind of, even though I don't think the Kree and Skrull are.
I'm already checked out. I'm over it.
He's over it. All right. Well, it's okay. We need to know more about it, but I wanted to bring it up because I thought high-profile actor.
I like that Marvel has really brought a lot of no-names to the front.
Sure.
So, I mean, obviously Jude Law is not a no-name. Samuel Jackson is not a no-name, but you get like
Sammy Jack.
you get Chadwick Boseman, and now he's like a freaking baller. You get I mean, Chris Evans wasn't that big before freaking Captain America either.
We could say Robert Downey Jr. though too, because I mean, like, people knew him, but still, like, that's
star status. Like,
yeah. Now he's like, you can't not know him.
These actors are smart. They know, like, if their character does well, they embody that character. Which, one, it sucks because you're always known as that character, but at the same time, you're always known as that character.
Yeah.
You're always known as like Black Panther. You're gonna always be known as Black Widow. You're gonna always be known as Captain America.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for anybody who, if it's in a good way, because like I don't think like with Batman it keeps changing. It's like if you see George Clooney, you might not think immediately, oh, it's Batman, right? Like everyone, if you see like Michael Keaton or if you see Christian Bale, like it depends on who it is.
You're like Harry frickin' Potter.
Yeah, and I think he knows, right? It must be hard, but like you are that person to us. I'm sorry, that's the only way we've known you. So like when we see you out in public, we're gonna be like, Harry, hello, Harry. Like and he's just like, please get away from me. Yeah. We'll see about this one, though. Also, Marvel hasn't really failed us yet, so I have no reason to believe that they would start now. I'm just interested to see what they do with this, because the whole Inhumans thing getting turned into a TV show, I feel like this could have a similar trajectory. But Angelina Jolie, I would say, is a little bit higher up than Vin Diesel as far as like star status goes. So having her on board, I'm guessing means that they're really going to take an honest swing at this thing. Be like, all right, here we go. We're ready to do space like in a serious way with a bunch of really powerful people. Could be interesting.
But that's like a replacement of the Avengers?
No, it would be something completely different. Like I said, it'd be more of the Inhumans, like a step up from the Inhumans. And I know a lot of people out there.
Fantastic Four, right?
Like a lot of people would be like, okay, the Inhumans aren't nearly as strong as these guys. These guys are, like I said, they're like Thanos level, like without the gauntlet, just like super duper strong and powerful. But it's a group of diverse people who have superpowers in space. There you go.
Okay. It doesn't replace the Avengers, though. I'm okay with it now.
Dude, you can't. And by the way, I said this on Twitter the other day. Finally, the Avengers are avenging something. Because I think about that sometimes. When you watch these movies, like the response time is usually to like stop the bad thing. Mm-hmm. The bad things happen now, and now they get to literally avenge somebody. Like, like this is like the first time. It's not like in Ultron, they're like, we'll avenge our fallen speedster. Like they didn't, it was like, we'll get him. Like, it was like, oh, we took care of that. Good on us.
I think Thanos should have been more selective. Then he wouldn't have hit such a resistance on it,
That's true. What I was thinking too is for just for the plot's sake, they had to do it the way they did it. But like Thanos isn't like the nicest dude, so he would have been like half of everyone and those darn dirty Avengers. And then wipe them out. People have just been like, yeah, I guess that's just our life now. Like, I guess my kids are gone.
No, how does it go in Scooby-Doo? Not those darn dirty Avengers. Those it's those kids in that dang dog.
A dang dog. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's just make it that way. Speaking of Hanna-Barbera, no, I'm just kidding. Speaking of just comic book movies in general, we finally got a Joker trailer dropped on us for Joaquin Phoenix Joker, which has absolutely nothing to do with the old Joker. I just want to say something up front. I watched a fan-made one first and thought it was the real one.
I saw that one too.
I didn't check.
It was good.
And they edited parts of other movies, and because it's DC at this point, I'm thinking, I guess this is it. Like, I was like,
I saw that exact same video, Jimmy.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not alone. But then I saw the real one, which.
So you were seeing like Heath Ledger?
No,
and,
it wasn't that.
Jared Leto. And...
No, it was Joaquin Phoenix from other films, and he was getting like interrogated or something. But then they like showed like some shots from like the behind the scenes footage of this new movie. So I was just like, maybe they just didn't care. But then I saw like the real one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I gotta say that much. I am interested in this. I don't know exactly where it's gonna go. I think Joaquin Phoenix is a really, really good actor. I think he's kind of nuts, which is perfect for this. And the role I know him best for is being the bad guy in Gladiator. And I think he was excellent in that. Like the creepiest dude.
Oh yeah.
He's so good in that movie. Like the whole, like, oh, and he's like, he's such a weirdo, especially towards his sister. It's like,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's good. So that's not in question. I think my question is the idea of the Joker, like his origin story, enough insofar as like, is the ending going to be kind of cool? Like, or is it just going to be like, I kill people now? Like, yeah, you do. So Levi, I want you to start us off here. What did you think of the trailer?
I actually thought it was pretty interesting. I didn't hate it. I thought it was gonna be a really weird DC campy trailer, but it was actually pretty good. I'm glad they didn't take it in like a Joker from Suicide Squad
era.
This is something more organic. Like he actually has like, you get to see like the Joker's mom and like what he's going through and like his trials with life, and people never really got to see that side of the Joker, so they don't really know like why is he so fucked up? Why is he so like this? Well, now you get to find out, and it's like why has it been this long for an origin film like this for this character that's so big? But
I think it's because like they couldn't get it right, and a lot of the love for people who enjoy Joker is like they don't know his exact origin. Like there's tellings of it, but it isn't always the exact same way, and there's kind of
there was
that
a mystery behind
mystery.
it.
Yeah, right. That would have been weird. Like if Heath Ledger was still around, do you think they would have like tried to pull him for this and been like, hey, like we want you to be like the Joker, like
just kind of like just like same thing, not pulling Christian Bale. Sorry, I was gonna say Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Just kind of like not taking like the Christian Bale and like asking him to be the new Batman.
Sure.
I don't think they would have done that with Joaquin. I feel like he would have retired it, kind of like Christian Bale did. But...
Oh, Heath Ledger, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Joe, I know that you're not necessarily the biggest fan of Batman. I mean, you like him enough, and obviously the Joker is his antithesis. What do you think, of Joaquin Phoenix in this role, and are you interested in this at all now that you get to see a little more?
I don't think I have, I can draw. I'm good at art. I like graphics. I like all that stuff.
Humble brag.
So I like to think I have a somewhat artistic brain, but I can't even comprehend this. It's like in my mind, it's like, haven't you drugged that character through enough freaking shit as it is? like his teeth are brown and it's coming out the other end. It's so bad.
My God.
Jesus.
It's like, I mean, seriously, they've got one toe left and this is it. They've shot the others off repeatedly. It's pretty bad. Like,
you know what? I can't top anything after that, Jimmy. I'm gonna sign out after that, Joe.
That was amazing.
I'm serious though. Like, okay, we got it wrong enough times. Let's try this more artistic take on how the Joker became the Joker, and he's so crazy. And let's just do an in-depth character dissection on why he's so crazy. From the beginning of the story, it seems to me that he has, I guess, a mental illness of some sort, that he's disabled, and he's taking care of his mom. Then he gets shown getting beat up and beat up and beat up. It's like, nice, so well done. I was just like, what was the point of the trailer besides, he took a different approach. It's so artistic. You might get a freaking Emmy or Grammy or whatever the hell they call them.
Golden Globe or Oscar, but I mean,
whatever. Aren't they all the same thing?
Pretty much. It's just a popularity contest, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Joaquin Phoenix, yeah, I mean, that guy can portray some emotion. I'll give him that as far as the acting and everything. Like, it's impressive. I felt it. But you know what else? He reminds me of the dad, real name Ty something. What's his name?
Ty Burrell from Modern Family.
Yeah, from Modern Family. I look at him, I'm like, what are you doing?
Dude, he would have been a crazy Joker, but he's too tall, maybe. Oh my God, that would have been kind of scary.
Can I just say he looks emaciated in this movie?
Yeah, sure.
They just do that to add a bit of dramaticism.
Yeah.
I don't get it. At this point, it's been how many years since Man of Steel came out? 2008? 2011? Something like that?
I'll fact check it. Keep talking.
6 years ago? Either way, we've been exposed to this DC stuff. Man of Steel, okay. Batman with Ben Affleck, okay. Everything has been somewhat okay until all of a sudden they introduce the villains being, Suicide Squad. And it was just like, you could read that script and go, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, who wrote this? Your kids? Like, garbage
And
on
Will
the
Smith still
fireplace.
did it. 2013, by the way.
Yeah. Well, money talks, I guess. Okay, yeah. So 5.5 years of just, ugh. So some of it's been mediocre, some of it's been enjoyable, some of it's been pretty darn good. Aquaman, until you start questioning the laws of physics and stuff like that. Like he can lift a sub to the surface from the depths of the sea, but
your favorite guy is Superman. He'd do the same thing. Like,
yeah, but that makes sense because everything he does is like that. No, I'm just joking, but it was a good movie. I kind of enjoyed that one. Character-wise, everything was good, and it still runs the line, stays on the same highway it's been on, as in the DC universe, the characters from the comic book, relatable to that whole aura. Now we're going to, this isn't even Dark Knight level. From what I've seen thus far, it's just like a little bit of a, I mean, they even talk about it. It's more Shakespearean. I mean, he's like, at first I thought my life was a tragedy. Now it's a comedy. It's like, fuck.
I wish they would have done it a little more sinister, where like he would have seen like a knife at his store that he was working at, and then when those kids like beat him up again, he would have like pulled the knife out. And it's kind of the take on the one bad day, which is kind of like one of Joker's origins, is that he was a normal guy just like everybody else who just had a really, really bad day, and then he just decided to go, like he just went insane.
So I think that's just show that one little clip out of the movie that's him just getting beaten down for a day.
I would say show that, but then also show
There's
him
no
like
vat of laughing liquid or something.
I don't know if they're gonna do that, like, because it's like, is he gonna fall into a pit and be white? But like, I think he just does the makeup because he was a clown who worked. So they're doing something different with it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, and it's not supposed to be related to any of the DC stuff because it's like the worlds of DC. So this doesn't have to. The only way it will be connected is if it is successcul. And
the DC will be like,
yeah.
I think they're really trying to do something different here.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. It's fine. I'm just interested. I just don't know what like the hook is. Like you really need to know the Joker in any stretch before you go into this. Otherwise, you'd be like, oh, so that was a story about some dude dressed up as a clown, and then he just decided to always dress up as a clown and kill people.
I get it now. At the end, he became the Joker. He says, I'm the Joker. I get it now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Maybe we'll see him in the future in a Batman movie. Oh, wait, there is no more Batman. Ben Affleck's gone.
Yeah. It's weird that they're setting it in the 80s. It didn't feel like they were... I thought that's when they said it was going to be set. It was in the 80s.
Sure.
But they didn't rely on it so much, which I appreciated because like I feel like every time a movie is set like in the 80s or 90s now, they have to be like, guess what era it's in? Look at this. And you're like, oh, God. Like, you're like, look at that. And it's like, please stop. Like, it doesn't have to be Stranger Things. Not everything needs to be Stranger Things. But I just don't know, not having Batman in it. Okay, they're a hot take. But not having Batman in it at all makes me a little nervous. I'm trying to think of like
reference to it at all.
Yeah, and I get that Joker can be his own character. I just try to think of like if they did like a yeah. I think they said they weren't going to do Batman. I don't know. It's just like if they did a Green Goblin movie without Spider-Man, I'd be like, it's like a crazy old dude flying around on a glider, like like.
Yeah. So we have a villain and nobody to stand in his way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
And we're gonna see his Harley Quinn towards the end too, and that's gonna be Margot Robbie, isn't it?
I don't know if that's possible, but wait, I mean,
this Joker isn't related to the DC universe over here, so just it's the same person, but different Harley.
It's just they're losing it over there. I would love it if they just showed their offices with all their producers and executives and stuff, and they're all just dressed up like the Joker. They're like, we've all lost our minds. You'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
I picture cubicles are like an open office with no walls, just desks shoved against each other's with old desktop computers and like stacks of paper, just like scripts. And there's somebody in the corner just cramming them into the shredder. And then somebody else printing a new one out. I got something new, guys. This one's going to be it.
This is going to make us all the money. Take that, Marvel. Yeah.
Call up Disney. Tell them we're coming for them.
Exactly. We got their number.
Mouse laughs.
Yeah. I'd love it if the next thing they're like, we're doing some Batman Harry Potter crossover. I'd be like, and it's about time. But I feel like just lean into it, WB. Just get as weird as you possibly can with it. Oh man. Quick side note here. I just wanted, because I have Man of Steel pulled up. Do you guys have a guess at what its score is currently on Metacritic? Just out of curiosity. This again came out in 2013, June 14th.
What?
Is it like a 64?
Man of Steel, Metacritic.
Yeah, 64%.
Joe?
I don't even look at Metacritic.
That's
That's in
fine.
a percentage out of 100.
Yes.
I want to say it's in the 70s.
On Metacritic, it's 55, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 56. IMDb, I never trust because I know it's like a movie database, but that's 7.1. So like, half and half.
I don't think it's bad.
Let's wrap up Joker discussion with a hypometer check. Levi, start us off. What do you think? How are you feeling?
Like a 6.
Okay, cool. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 100.
Oh, sorry, you drew 6 out of 100. My bad. I should always ask. It's out of 100, right?
So pretty much 0. Okay.
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes. For a DC film, it looked bad.
Yeah. It didn't look bad, right? Yeah. Anyway, Joe, how are you feeling? How you feeling?
Yeah, I don't disagree. There's some quality there and all, but I mean, it's a total break of the mold, and it's like, okay, you're trying to expose us to it on one side in another theater, and then you want us to walk out and go right into the other one to see something totally separate, but the same character from that theater I was just in a minute ago. It's like, I don't know what to think, so let's just jar my brain some more. Yeah, I'm pretty lackluster on it unless I see another trailer that's just like, man, this is a lot more than what meets the eye. Even then, it's a hard. It's going to be difficult to get me out there to see it. So I'm at like a chilly, just below freezing at like a 3.
Okay, 3 out of 10.
I'm just kind of fed up and over it.
Sure, I get that.
So I'm being a Debbie Downer. But
that's okay. No, I love the honesty, guys. That's all I ask for here. Yeah, we'll see. I also wonder, because it's coming out in October, if they're trying to kind of cash in on some of that It money. They're like, hey, it's like a creepy clown movie at Halloween. So like, that's smart. That's probably a good marketing technique.
Because nobody's afraid of clowns except for the people that have a phobia of them who aren't going to go see this.
That's true. Also, Venom did like gangbusters in October. It made like over 800 million. So it's like
such a different film, though.
I know, but like, go for like your creepy thing in October. Like they're not like releasing this like on Valentine's Day or something.
Really think about it, was Venom creepy in any way?
Not necessarily. I think just the character itself, and some of the stuff was kind of gross out, where they kind of would like.
Yeah, in the beginning when they introduced the symbiote, and you don't like see their form, and they're like infecting them. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Levi though. I got like 6 out of 10 on this. I'm interested to see where this goes. I think he's a really good actor. I just want to know. To me, the hook of like learning how the Joker becomes the Joker isn't enough. I don't like that character enough. I've never actually really enjoyed the Joker. I know this is blasphemy coming as a Batman fan, but the Joker to me he's not really the compelling in the same way. Obviously, he's a mental threat for Batman, but I've always just liked, obviously, I love Deathstroke, but I love like Mr. Freeze. That's one that comes to mind. Bane when he's not done poorly. I like more physical threats that are also mental threats. Like, I don't like just like, I'm just like a little weak guy. And once you finally get to me, just clock me once and it's over. And I hate the whole, like all the little jokey bits. So yeah, we'll see. I'm sure a lot of people are excited about it though. And it sounds like from Twitter they are, and we'll get to those in a little bit. Last thing I want to talk about here today, boys, a little bit of a discussion that cropped up via the Critical Reviews Discord, which everybody listening to this should go hang out in. I want to talk to you guys about easy mode. Do easy modes ruin games, or should some difficult games actually have an easy mode built into them? Now, what do I mean by that? It can mean a lot of different things. I mean, easy mode as far as like you get a lot more health, you do a lot more damage, the enemies have a lot less health. Or in Halo back in the day when they put it like, I was reading like on heroic difficulty, that's the way that the devs wanted you to play the game. But if you played on like easy, then they would put different enemy placements. There wouldn't maybe be as many or whatever else. You could just breeze through that game and not have a challenge at all. But this has been popping up a lot, and it always pops up when a From Software game comes out. The Bloodborns, the Dark Souls, and now Sekiro, that the game has like the one difficulty. You can't change it, and that's too bad. And if you suck, you suck. You have to get good at it because you suck and you should get better. Like, that's kind of the mentality some people have. Not everybody. I don't want the Souls fans out there to be like, how dare you, Jimmy? But I was reading
those games have only one difficulty setting. It is what it is, and get good or die.
Exactly.
It's get good or die, yeah.
Yeah, and the article I was reading, I thought was really fascinating, talking about people who have frustration with this, not only just because, like, that mentality right there, that, like, you buy something and you want to, indulge in it and be part of it, but also like not just be pissed off. But for those who have disabilities or those who, you know, have issues with their hands, like it becomes very difficult to not only button mash, but get really good with technical games like that. Where like Devil May Cry can be very technical, but you can like crank the difficulty way down, and I think you're just going to cut through everybody. And even if your combos suck, it's like, whatever. But I was just interested in this. I thought it was a cool topic, and Missile Mage brought it up, and I was like, I should bring this on the show because, like, Levi, you're playing Sekiro right now, and I wanted to know, like, for you, if they had an easier difficulty, is that something that you would fall back to if it were there?
In a game like Sekiro, yes, just with the mobility, you want to be able to fly around a little bit more and just destroy at your leisure. But I get it. It's true to it's true to the Souls from Software like DNA. So I understand why, but do I wish it was there sometimes? Just a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. No, I get that.
But it's supposed to be a rewarding experience. That's the point. Like it's supposed to be rewarding for you to overcome it and get on with it. And the reward is actually great for Sekiro because once you finally get past it, you're like, man, that was actually like a skill test. And it's,
Yeah, it makes you feel good. I think another thing that someone was posting was saying like there could be other ways to kind of give you that gratification, that feeling of overcoming something without it being like just so brutally difficult. Whereas it's like, oh, you died, like you're gonna have to run 15 minutes back to this thing and try again, and just be like, it's so frustrating. Joe, I know you don't really play a lot of games where that comes into account because you're usually playing against other players or playing like alongside other players. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, a lot of times it isn't really a factor for me, but one game that I've played a bit of that comes to mind and I think is a good example of why having tiers to your difficulty is good and helpful for a broad range of reasons, some of which you've already mentioned. Anthem, right? I mean, I think about when I started that game, it's kind of a loot-based game. You're not really all that powerful until you get the more difficult loot. You also have to learn how to play the game. I mean, there's certain things that aren't necessarily immediately intuitive. So starting out in a beginner mode doesn't really hurt my feelings or my ego. If you're offended that it even has it in the game, then yeah, I think that tells you something about yourself, your ego. Yeah. Like, how dare you even put it on my screen? I would never. I'm a pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, it also lends itself well to video games reach the broadest demographic I think possible, right? You talked about, for instance, handicapped people or children wanting to play video games. Yeah, how are they going to play, right? How can they do technical moves and handle, a horde versus, a small grouping, of enemies, that sort of thing. I think in order to garner to all their demographics, it's necessary. Whether you like that it's there or not, too bad, so sad. I guess that's my kind of take on it. It doesn't just having difficulty variance really affect you in any way? I don't know. I mean, the second I realized I could kind of do the moves, I kind of understood how things worked, and I could handle my own and make smart decisions. I was like, all right, from now on, I'm playing on hard, period. Right? I can figure that out. Playing on easy for the first few missions is a good way to understand where I belong. And I think Anthem's a good example of that. Now it's like, okay, Grandmaster 1. I'm pretty comfortable there. Nothing's too squishy, but starting to be. Okay, now I understand. I've leveled up. I've gotten the loot. So in a game like that, you know that you're going to just keep climbing the tiers just based on, how good of equipment you've got and also your skill level and how you attack things. So I think that's a good example. These Sekiro games and stuff like that. I mean, if they're rated M for mature and you're not really having like a younger demographic tuning in for that one, then okay, maybe it's acceptable. But I just feel like it's always nice to have that little introduction to it, get up to speed, and then crank it up. I think it's a handy thing, and And I think a big thing that you touched on that I was trying to expand on is just being able to broaden that demographic and allow people with, maybe handicaps and stuff like that to be able to access the joy of gaming, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know why there's much of a debate at all.
Yeah, I think it just speaks to an ingrained exclusivity that gaming still has with a lot of, our generation or a little bit older, where games for a while were not accepted, in the mainstream media and all that stuff. And they still we're still working on it, but there's kind of this like this honor you have to being like, oh, I'm a true gamer. And like the last bastion, it seems like, are some of these really hardcore games that just demand so much time and skill and effort. And I think a lot of the people who are really championing for like being like, never put an easy mode in, never do that because it'll like tarnish my game. Like, just I guess the developers have to be like really open about it and just say, hey, we built the game like we normally would. It's extremely difficult. However, afterwards, we also put in an easy mode, and it basically just shifts a bunch of numbers. Like, and you just have so much more health, and your enemies have like next to none, and every slash is going to be a kill. So if you want to just play the game and indulge in like the sparse amount of story that's in these games, because a lot of people talk about how these Souls games have all this like, oh, environmental storytelling and stuff. I don't want to experience that in a world where I'm constantly terrified of dying. Like, I'm not just like, well, look at this statue. What does this mean? I wonder if this has any implications on the world. It's like, no, I gotta go. I gotta run. Like, it's like, I gotta get out of here. Like, if it was an easy mode, I'd be like, let's drink it in. I want to drink in this environment. Because I am not drinking in any environments when I'm constantly tense and worried about like trying to level up my character. I'm like, please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. I'm like just getting so angry. I want to like break a controller. Like, those games have pushed me. And yes, I felt very good overcoming some of those obstacles. But Sekiro has gotten even a little bit more backlash for it because it has no co-op or anything like that. In Bloodborne, Joe, and the other Souls games, you could like call people in to help you, which is amazing because these people are like, it's like Monster Hunter, Joe. You call in some professionals, and sometimes they're not always amazing, but sometimes these people are just like, they know exactly what they're doing. You're just like, go forth, my friends. Like, they're just killing these things, and you're like, ha ha ha. But Sekiro doesn't have any of that. So I'm all for it. I say put as many modes in as you possibly can. Put an easy mode in there because I'm sure there's a lot of people who'd love to try these types of games who are just so intimidated, and it's a lot of money to like put into something that you want to use as like, it doesn't have to be relaxing necessarily, but it's something to kind of take your mind off of it. But your mind will focus on that when you're at work. You're gonna be like, I gotta beat that stupid boss. How do I beat that stupid boss? Like, do I watch a video about it? Do I read an article about it? Do I just keep trying? Like, that's the problem. Like, that's not how I want to live. Like, just put the easy mode in there.
On the same hand too, Sekiro is doing really well just being itself.
Yeah. Yep, that's
the
true.
critics love it right now, and it's beautiful, and it's fun just to like watch the blood spray. And I don't know if you look at it at all, but it's
yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think it's doing very well.
But yeah.
I just wish it was more. I just wish all these types of games at least had some other choice, because when you start it up, it's a start game. Like when you play Levi, it's not like. And now they even took away kind of your customization. It's like, this is how your guy looks, and this is the difficulty. So good friggin' luck. And you're like, all right, like, and a lot of people kind of attribute it to like old school, like NES difficult platformers where it's like, oh, this is like those games like Castlevania, but in a 3D perspective. And I guess maybe I just don't have the same love that some people have for that. So, but I'm interested to know, people who are listening to this, what you guys think. Would you like an easy mode in these types of games? Should it be untouched or whatever else? I mean, like in all of the shooters that we play, or even like the stylized action games like Devil May Cry, there are different like settings like that. But Devil May Cry kind of tells you the whole time, it's like, hey, you should be more stylish. There's this little style meter over here, and you're not doing very well. It's like, I'll do better. Like, I will be super sexy smoking style for you. Yeah, that's what I'm always trying to go for. Quad S doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I'm interested. So it sounds like, Joe, you say more easy modes. Levi, you might indulge in if it were there sometimes. I'm for it. So video games industry, get on that. That'd be great. Thank you. I think that was a fun little conversation, boys. Thanks for indulging me in that. All right. Now it's time to move to that segment of the show that I like to go, that Joe likes to go, that Levi likes to go. Hit me with it, somebody.
Timekillers.
That's right. It's time for Timekillers. It's the games we've been playing, the movies we've been watching, the TV shows we've been doing. Joe, hit me with some Timekillers, baby.
Ghost Recon, pal.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about I want to talk about it so badly. Okay, so so Joe and I the other night we're just hanging out. It's like 8:50 or whatever. Joe's like, yeah, I'm probably me hitting it soon or whatever. He's gonna go to bed, and I was like, fair enough. Maybe want to try a little Ghost Recon Wildlands just for some fun because we've been kind of flirting with the idea of getting back into it. Levi, this is the game we were talking about.
Okay.
So we're like, let's pop back in. We'll pop back in for a
little
mission.
bit. I got an hour.
So first thing we do is like get a helicopter and have to fly 16 kilometers, which I mean, that's just, we could have probably fast traveled, but we did it. It's fine.
We wanted to see the world again, and it looked like there were some new things. It was good.
I'm pretty sure most of the DLC, I don't know if they've just given it to us or not, but so Joe's there. The first thing I see, Joe's got like the Predator mask on because we fought the Predator. It's the last thing we did. And Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, he's talking to me on the comms. There's a mission that I could do with him. I don't know if that's still in the world. But anyways, Joe and I went to do this mission. Incredibly difficult. The first few times we did it, we were so close to like completing it, but it took us probably like an hour plus to do this one.
Yeah.
But
we redid it, what, 7 times?
Oh, maybe more than that.
8?
The problem was we snuck into a base just fine. We had to find a guy, a rookie in there who had like full tack camo, and we had to get him out. We had to get him onto a helicopter without being noticed and take off with that. And then once we did that, Joe had to fly super low so that way the anti-air missiles and like other helicopters wouldn't shoot us down. And the first time we got away, like right as they were telling us to like avoid missiles and stuff, we just took one to the tail and it was dead and we had to start again.
We got away. Didn't I?
We got away from that part.
One.
Yeah, we got when we were away, and they're like, "Hey, watch out for those anti-air missiles."
Helicopter.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Oh, might have been that.
It was a helicopter that took us down because I was like, "Oh, we got to fight them," and I was like, "I don't remember how to target anything, Jimmy."
It's so hard. Yeah, there's a lot of commands, but I will say this: we're sneaking around, and as we progressed, like it got brighter and brighter because like the day-night cycle was shifting. But like the first few times we were doing it, was like nighttime in the rain, and we were very, very tactical. Like, and after a while, it became very.
It was awesome, though.
Yeah. Well, Joe was like, he knew the 3 guys he had to take out. I knew like the 3 or 4 guys I had to take out. So we just kind of like just kept doing the same thing again and again.
Eventually, by like the 7th or 8th time, we were speed running it in the middle of the day, just running out from behind walls to kill him. I'm going to take out the generator. Then I kill this guy. Then I kill that guy. And I meet Jimmy at the other end of that tent by the helicopter pad.
I'd get bored and almost throw the mission a few times because I was like, I'll take this long shot snipe on this dude. And I'd miss and it would pop up. It was like direct threat. And Joe would be like, what the hell? And like the second bullet would hit the dude. And I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to be here. And then there was another time we'd both be trained up on the same guy. I miss, Joe miss, I would hit. So I was like, that poor guy was like,
yeah.
He's like, oh my God.
But it's hard to get back into with the sniping on that. You started out pretty hot. I think you were doing pretty well.
And then descended.
Yeah, but then, it was getting late and all. But anywho, is there a difficulty setting on that at all? Did we have it turned up?
I think we have it on. I thought there was a difficulty. I think we had it on.
Yeah,
I think we have it on
because we were taking it pretty seriously when we kind of called it on that.
You have to, and
it
just makes me stoked because I just like want that sequel. Like I really enjoy that game, and there's so much they could do on top of it. But I'm like, it's still a cool
but
game.
there's a lot of stuff that since we put it down a year ago, maybe even a little more.
Yeah, they put a lot in.
They've put a lot in. Like I had literally like every weapon you could think of. Then I went scrolling through the wheel. I'm like, oh my God, I got to start over. There's like a whole nother, list of weaponry. And some of the customization they've added in is pretty cool. Obviously, they started to really pop in some of that. Hey, buy some Ubisoft points and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can buy this. It's like, I'm going to play a little bit of this, but I look cool enough as it is. I don't really need any more. So, I don't know. It was really cool. I think maybe with one other person, we would have done even better, being able to take more bad guys at once, like simultaneous sync shots and stuff. But I had a good time. The helicopter controls in there are fun. I love the third person. I love the weather changing and the day-night cycles. And to be honest, I think the environment is sexy. They really did an excellent job with an environment that has no loading screens. You're not like transitioning from one county to the next, and it's like, oh, hold on, we got to load the next county. It's just seamless, and everything looks great. I really enjoy it, and when you get in with your bud like that, me and you are in there just kind of slicing and dicing and literally communication and talking like, okay, you see this guy? This is a guy. You got to line up on him? No, let me rearrange, get a different position on him. I mean, all that stuff. Fun. Like, I was immediately hooked back in, and if they kept releasing new content for that, I'd totally be all about it.
Yeah.
And there is some right now, which I'll probably play through it.
Yep, I hope so too. I hope it's all there for us. I hope it's not like we get to it and it's like, oh, if you want to play with Sam Fisher, like as your buddy, you got to pay for it. I'm like, I get why they would charge for that, but at the same time, I'm just like, just
how awesome would it have been? You and I both played the Predator mission that they dropped on us. This past summer or spring, something like that.
It was a while ago, yeah.
It was a while ago, but it was super cool. But it was literally just a short little blippy mission, and it was hard too.
Oh, very.
But how cool would it have been if they just dropped that and they're like, yeah, but you don't kill him. It keeps going, and you're chasing him through the cocoa fields and in the jungles, and he's killing the Sicario and stuff as you're infiltrating, and he's messing with your missions and stuff, and eventually it comes down to, you're trying to kill the boss. He shows up. You have to kill the Predator and the boss. Like, they could have entered that into a whole storyline and made something so epic out of it. It could have been a whole nother game. But needless to say, fun. I'm glad we did that little bit. I think we need to do a little bit more, try out, this new stuff that they've introduced. So it's still good. I understand why we spent some time with it.
I'd pay $10 if they would allow us to both be Predators, and they gave us like some specialized equipment that only came with Predators, and you had like certain little missions to do, like take out cartel. There'd be like 50 or 100 cartel members, but they'd be like, but you're pretty powerful now, so like get to it. Like,
right.
And they get like scared. Like, oh my god, dude. Like Arkham, they all get terrified of Batman. It'd be like that. You kill somebody, but oh my god, they just skinned like Javier. Like,
no, Javier, he just had a child.
Exactly. Like clicking around, just running around. My god. I would maybe $20 actually.
I popped in. I had the Predator mask from when we did that mission. I mean, how could I not equip it, right? And I had like a tattoo on my guy's arm of the Predator computer for the the
bomb and
self-destruct sequence thing.
Yeah, wrist thing.
And so I'm like Predatored out, and every gun I have in that game has the 3-dot laser. So everywhere I go, it's like we'll be standing there talking to somebody for a mission, and the 3-dot laser's on the ground or on the guy's forehead. I'm like, yep, that's me. And what did I say right away? I was like, Jimmy, I have night vision just like the Predator. I am the Predator.
And I'm just
I was like freaking out.
I'm flicking through my night vision and thermal vision. I'm like, yeah, I got it too. But I mean, yeah, you do have it.
What's funny though is, it sounds like a joke, but initially I forgot that we did have that. I thought I really had it for a split second. I'm like, oh yeah, we did have that.
Dang, I should have leaned into it. But like, dude, you've got night vision. Dang.
Yeah, you would have had me good, man.
Which I do use on missions, by the way. The night and the thermal, I flip through them sometimes at night. I'm like, yeah, these are nice to have. I'm like, I feel cheap.
Oh yeah, it helps out sometimes, especially when they're like half in cover, half out.
Yeah, we need that full camo though.
But yeah, moving on. I think that was a lot of fun, and we'll play some more. Maybe talk about it again. But other than that, I recently downloaded Battlefield 5. It's good. I like the Firestorm mode, which is their new battle royale. Battlefield is a totally different feel from Call of Duty. Somewhat cleanses the palate. However, I still find myself wanting to do Blackout just because I prefer that kind of pace and feel. Battlefield gets a little campy sometimes. Like, I see a couple little huts and the doors are both shut, no broken windows, and circle's still somewhat big, but there's like 6 or 7 people left. I'm like, all right, Drew, it's me and him against a bunch of other teams, and we run down there. I'm like, all right, I need some more ammo. I'm going to check this building. It looks like it hasn't been touched. Open the door, and there's just a guy laying on the ground with an LMG, just and mows us both down in the doorway because Drew was right behind me. It's just like, I don't like that campiness, and I still kind of enjoy it, and I think there's a slower pace to it. So it can be a lot more fun. If you prefer that, you can kind of take your time. And the realism is cool too. It's a different vibe overall. That world really looks nice.
Sure.
Kind of in the same way I'm talking about Ghost Recon. Like everything looks real graphically. But Conquest is still Conquest. Still good stuff, man. I really enjoy it. The maps are cool. The weaponry is pretty cool. World War II era. Um, I think they're due for some new maps. I think there's like 5 right now, maybe 6, and a couple of them are rarely in the rotation, unfortunately. But the game feels good. It's fun. It's a game that, like, when you're sniping, you're like, yeah, like you feel good doing it. And the maps are so large in Conquest that you can kind of tuck away in those corners and find some sniping lanes, and it makes it fun. I paid $30 for it. I don't know if it was just on sale for a short minute there, or if it went back up or not. But $30, well worth it. I'll probably play some more here and there, just as kind of like a palate cleanser kind of a thing. So, yeah, that's been it. Otherwise, I've been watching Vikings from History Channel, which has been really cool. Sometimes it gets a little odd, but being History Channel, I was surprised because now they're more known for that Einstein guy saying aliens, man. But but
I like that dude.
Yeah, but this does have some historical accuracies to it, like the way they were and their culture and stuff, which is kind of cool. But it's also kind of risque, very mature, definitely rated R kind of deal at times. And almost akin to Game of Thrones, maybe not quite to that level. Obviously, it's not as epically scaled as Game of Thrones, but it's fun. It's good. It's a good watch if you like that type of stuff. Medieval, knights, Vikings. I guess I wouldn't say knights, but yeah, Anglo-Saxons and stuff. It's cool when they first ventured to England. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So that's about all I've been doing.
Dang, you've been doing a lot. You're doing so many things. Look at you. Levi, top it. I'm just kidding. Levi, what have you been kill time with?
I've been playing Sekiro. I'm still getting through Naruto. Rewatching all the Marvel movies before Endgame.
That boy.
Finishing Resident Evil. Yeah, not a ton. Might start playing a little bit of Borderlands here with all the hype going on right now. Because I never actually played those games through for the first time. So.
Are you gonna play them on Xbox?
Probably. I know they have like the Game of the Year edition going on. So
if you do get 2, talk to me about it. That's a game that if it wasn't cell shaded, I think Joe would be into. It's first person like looter shooter Joe, but I just don't know if you'd like the cartoony vibes of it.
I think I even played it once. A friend of mine had it back in college, and I was like, I'm gonna go now. Talk to you later.
Well, Levi, if it's like $5, you let me know.
Well, the Handsome Collection that comes with Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel is $15 right now for the next 15 days, 5 days.
Interesting.
And then the Game of the Year edition of Borderlands 1 is $30. So, but it's also 4K and yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, cool. So you've been busy as well. Well, is there anything else, Levi? I don't want to cut you off.
Not really. Yeah, just kind of watching some anime, playing some Sekiro.
All right.
Still dabbling in Overwatch.
No. I'm going to top all of you guys right now. You guys, I've been playing a little Ghost Recon, obviously. Sure, whatever. I mean, it's obviously I really enjoy that game. But I've been indulging in the greatest television show of all time. That's right. I've restarted it again. I'm watching Frasier through season 1. I finished season 1, and I remembered the end of season 1. It's got one of my favorite episodes, and I just love that show. Yes, it looks a little dated. It's in standard def. There's the black bars on the sides or whatnot, but it's still so good. It makes me laugh. It makes me tear up a little bit sometimes. Incredibly good performances. People, check out Frasier. I am not kidding. It is infinitely better than Friends and Seinfeld. Seinfeld. I can't even say it. I don't think Seinfeld's that good. I tried watching it, guys.
I don't get it myself.
Guys, it's a bunch of bad people. All right, Seinfeld. If you like Seinfeld, think about yourself. But Frasier's good. And people are like, oh, it's too hoity-toity. It's too hoity. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. They've got Martin in there, the dad. He's just your average, regular guy. He's there. He kind of balances it out, baby. Don't you worry about it. It's all citrus.
What was the dog's name again?
Oh, you're talking about Eddie.
Eddie.
And they had 2 Eddies. And I believe John Mahoney, unfortunately, did pass away kind of recently. Yep. But still, performances are all just spectacular. Oh, my God, I love it. And I'm excited. 11 seasons of this show. I still have 10 seasons left. And this way I can make sure I've watched every episode. Sometimes I forget if I have or not.
Was it a year for each season? Or did
yeah. So guess what? Yeah, I think it is. And even the first season has 24 episodes in it. And I was like, most first seasons don't get a full... I think it's because Frasier was on Cheers and he was well established. So they're like, they ordered a full order of it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how that worked, but I was kind of surprised because like even The Office had 6 episodes in its first season and they didn't do a full like 20. It's usually 21 to 24 for sitcoms. More of the dramas like a Smallville is like it's going to be like 22 or something. Because they're just way longer, like
they're
it's just like double the time. But they're really good, short and breezy, 20 minutes, just good show. Anyway, let's move into my favorite segment of the show: community feedback and questions. I asked our lovely Legionnaires what they thought of the Joker trailer, and guys, there's a lot of love for it. Christine, my buddy, aka Ivy Winter. You can find. She's got a great Disney channel. Check her out on YouTube. She's really wonderful. She says, love it. It's the right tone, the right actor, and I'm really excited that this may bring back my faith in DC. They better not screw it up. She put that in all caps, so I imagine that's what she said.
They won't, because it's not related to the actual DC that you're thinking of. It's a totally different off branch of that.
Yeah. But they could still mess it up. I mean, it's DC, so they could botch it. Our buddy Steve, who was on the last time a group of us were here. I don't think Levi was here for that, but Steve Bastek from Plus One Player. Hey, Steve, how you doing? He says, I'm very excited. Looks like a fresh take on the character and almost a very loose take on the One Bad Day Killing Joke arc. I'm loving the thriller vibe that we're getting, and I'm thinking we get a really solid Joker origin story out of this. Ryan Lehman, thank you for supporting us. He says, I'm excited about it. I'm a bit worried that the viewer might sympathize with the Joker, but I'm also really interested in it. Now, that's an interesting take because that's the whole thing about the Joker is that you don't sympathize with them. So that's interesting. W. Lucha on Twitter, he says, this was a good trailer. I've checked out the DC movies, and after the Bale-led Batman's finished, watched Wonder Woman, but that was it. I'd go see this. Okay, so they got him. And last but not least, Mike Kinghorn, our guy who runs the website, says, very excited for it. Love that we should get some good backstory about what led to the creation of the Joker. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, we have one question this week, and it comes in from, I always forget how to say this. It's Percy Valkyr Kira over on our Discord. Podcast question. # Critical Podcast. That's how you reach us on Twitter, or just put it in our podcast Discord tab. Was there ever an instance or a moment when you stepped out of what you consider your comfort zone and or your preference when it comes to gaming? Many people grow usually playing select genres, be it puzzle games, first-person shooters, RPGs, hack and slash, etc. And branching out of what you've grown to know can sometimes be difficult for many reasons. Game ratings not suiting your age or what your parents think you can handle, cost, accessibility via console, or even the community surrounding said game. As we all grow up, though, some of these barriers lower or cease, giving us the chance to reach out to other genres and give them a fair chance. For you, what genre or game did you finally decide to give a go? What was the outcome, and how has playing it changed your gaming experience? She says love and respect. Thank you. Love and respect back to you, Kira. We appreciate that. Boys, is there a game that just got you into a new genre completely that you're like, I'm glad I tried this?
A game? It can't be a movie.
Nope, it's a game. Has to be a game. I think I know what it is for Joe, actually. For some reason, Joe came to mind first.
I mean, I recently started playing Elder Scrolls Online. That just kind of got me into console MMOs or RPGs.
But you were already like an MMO guy from Warcraft. But like
for PC.
Was Warcraft your way into PC gaming?
It was my cocaine. Yes. It
I
was
was like,
my.
that
It
was
was
your
my
thing.
weed before cocaine.
Yeah, it was your gateway. Because I remember
Listen,
you were
let me make
dedicated.
something very clear to
Oh,
everybody. When we get a release date tomorrow, everybody's speculating tomorrow of Classic World of Warcraft. Shit's gonna hit the fan. Jobs are gonna be quit. Guilds are gonna be reforged. No, I'm just...
good. I'm excited for you. That sounds like a big day.
No, there's a lot of buzz on Classic WoW right now. I think it's gonna do well.
Okay. So is that your answer for this question that Kira so nicely wrote in about?
Yeah, because I don't really have a full answer for you, sweetheart. Darling. There hasn't been really anything like groundbreaking. I've just been playing, from software games, playing shooters, playing RPGs, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I played Civilization with you. That was the first time I ever played a game like that.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough. But it didn't like get you into it. I'm thinking of like when you were younger, maybe even like, did you try a game that was like, oh man, like I can play these now?
It doesn't have to be recent. Okay.
No. This could be a while ago.
Yeah, Halo was my bridge into shooters.
Sure.
World of Warcraft was my bridge into MMOs. My first RPG ever was
Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean technically Pokemon, but like real big scale RPG would have to be like Ocarina of Time.
Sure.
And then Legend of Dragoon was when shit took off for me. Legend of Dragoon was like my Final Fantasy growing up.
Dude, yeah, it's a good game.
And
Yeah.
then
That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to have more. That's okay.
I want more.
Okay, you want 4.
Just kidding. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, Joe. What would you
I'm
say?
trying to look for the question so I can like.
It's fine.
There were like multiple parts.
No. I will. It's just the one part. It's basically like what game got you into a new gaming genre that you'd never try. And if you don't have an answer, I have one for you.
Excuse me. I'm not bored, just tired.
Your what's tired? Your what hurts?
I'm not bored. I'm just tired.
That's what everyone says when they're hanging out with me.
If they say it too often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I can't be entertaining all the time. Oh, sorry.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm desperately alone. Keep going. I love the self-deprecating humor. I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
You're not alone, Jimmy. You're not alone. You have us.
Friends. I got friends.
What was I just saying? Oh yeah. What got me into other genres of gaming? Oh, I'm really trying to think. Something recently, right?
Yeah, I would say honestly for you, Joe, it would be Monster Hunter World got you to look at RPGs in a different way. Because like I think before that you'd never really it was different. Like you're kind of more of like a shooter guy. You like, more of like the racing and stuff, but like this was like the thing that kind of was like, hey, like this could be really cool. Like if you take, and then you tried Witcher after that, kind of like just trying new things.
Yeah. Between that, definitely Monster Hunter kind of opened a bit of a gateway. For some reason, I can't remember what it was. I think Monster Hunter led to a lot more discussions on Geralt type stuff and Witcher stuff, monster wise. I also think the whole Henry Cavill going over there helped spur it a little bit. But actually, I think I picked up Witcher before that happened. Either way, I played through. God, I barely scratched the surface, but I made it to the part where you got to bury that fetus under the front doorstep or whatever.
Lubberkin, right?
Yeah. I think actually that's where I might have stopped. I was having trouble beating those like wraiths that show up or whatever. I was just like, okay, all right, another day. And so I got picking up again. It was fun. It's something where it's like, man, I've got nothing to do. I'm going to sit down and dedicate some time to this alone kind of a thing. So I'll do it. But yeah, I think Monster Hunter World definitely opened up a realm to me. But Monster Hunter World still has that. The thing that really got me with that game is that there's still that cooperative playing with your friends. Not to mention you're still slaying stuff. You're just not using like guns.
Yeah. Magic.
But it's stylistic. It's third person. You got all your cool garb. There's a customization, which really amplifies it. So, I still feel like it's not a shooter multiplayer game, but it kind of has a feeling of satisfaction in the same way, kind of parallel, just different highway. Yeah, but I think that's a good example. Yeah, thanks for the assist on that one, Jim.
Always got your back, brother. That's what we even said that when we were playing Ghost Recon. I feel like those games just make us better friends because even though it is frustrating sometimes, it's always like, I got your back. Like, I shot that guy. It's okay that you missed, I guess.
Yeah. Like neither of us are big in the guns, but I mean, if we were, if it was a civil war or some sort of apocalypse, yeah, I'd team up.
I'd have my katana ready. You'd be like, oh, some guy behind me, just like, I'd be like, I got him. That I whisper in his ear, like, you're never gonna see a family.
It's number 135 to your 128.
Yeah, it would be straight up like, listen, Gimli. It's like, yeah, and there'd be Levi just on a mound of bodies to be like, I did this today, and I'd be like, oh, okay, all right. I guess for me, it would be Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness. I was never into real-time strategy, especially as a kid, and during kind of a tough part in my life, that game kind of came to me, and I remember just getting so enveloped and just so like loving the manual that actually had all these cool drawings of like a griffin and these orcs and things. And I remember thinking like, this is so cool. And that kind of led me into Warcraft 3 and then playing a little bit of StarCraft, the Red Alert games, Command and Conquer, things like that. So I'd say for me, it was probably Warcraft 2 that I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. But it also was like a weird chess game that was constantly moving and shaking. And the more you play it, especially when you get older and more intelligent, you start to realize like how many mistakes you made as a kid, where you're like, as a like little kid, Jimmy, I'm like, I'm going to make like 2 good units. And like the computer's like made 1,000 of that unit and better. And I'm like, my units aren't doing so well. So I'd use those cheat codes a lot as a kid. It's like infinite health, infinite mana or whatever. But Warcraft 2. Good game. So Warcraft 2, Monster Hunter World, and for Levi, every game. No, what was it? World of Warcraft, probably. Thanks, Blizzard. That's when Blizzard used to be cool. Anyway, thank you for writing in.
I like thinking about... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just about to do the wrap up. That's fine.
I just like thinking about all the games that like started me on my my core games, like my very favorite from my first, your first set of games.
Yeah, man. Pokemon's like how I got into video games. I was like, oh my god, like it's like, what is this? Like, I could take it with me. I was like, yeah, go play it. I'm like, yeah. I love it.
We need to stop talking at dinner when we're out with our friends.
Exactly, because they keep
Game Boy.
They keep yawning. It's not because they're tired. It's because they're bored. All right. See, it's my life. It's a trigger for me. Anyway. Thank you for writing in, Kira. And thank you for everybody else who wrote in for our question for the week. Always check our Twitter because we're trying to put questions up there all the time. So maybe you'll get yours read off here or a question. We love hearing them. Yeah, it was a great one. That was so good. And please write us. And again, the hashtag Critical Podcast to any of us. You can do at the official account, which is at Go Critical. It's a capital G and a capital C. Or you can tweet at me personally on Twitter. I am at JimmyGood013. Give us a follow too, man. That'd be great. If you want to tweet at Joe, where can they find you?
It's not that I'm bored, it's that I'm tired. At Lever_627.
Did Haley say something to you?
No, because I just did a yawn that you couldn't tell I yawned, but I yawned.
I just feel like, did she say this
like,
to you?
You like introed me into where can they reach you at, Joe? And I'm
like, there you go. And if you want to tweet at Levi, you can tweet at
Lever_Beaver. No.
Oh yeah, that's Lever spelled like beaver, only with an L.
Levi Fletcher.
Excellent. This
and how do you spell that, Levi?
We all know it's with the @ symbol. No. Yes. If you guys want to hang out with us, consider coming over to our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/critical reviews. I'm on there during the weekdays. Levi, sometimes the weeknights and the weekends. So just keep a lock there. You never know when we're going to be on, but we always tweet about it. So Twitter is still the best place to check us out.
On lock.
Yes. Also, if you want to keep something else on lock, like not going to prison for indecent exposure, I recommend getting one of our shirts on Spreadshirt because we're going to keep you out of prison. Look at this. It's all citrus. Isn't this so nice? And again, this was this design developed by Joe's wife, Haley. I love it so much. I really, and I'm not just wearing it for the show. I just like wearing the shirt, and people comment on it all the time. They're like, "Oh, what's that shirt?" And I'm like, "It's like my little saying on this show." And they're like,
look at them square in the eyes and be like, none of your business.
Exactly. Don't know, then you don't get to know.
They call me Orange Man.
Exactly.
I take oranges and I squeeze them into your eyes. That's my secret.
I smuggle oranges across the Floridian border.
If you go down to Florida, you can't go anywhere. You can't even spit without finding someone who knows about me. Like,
people love going to movies. I was gonna say, people love going to movies with me. I sneak in all the oranges.
I won't even entertain the thought of a California orange.
Blasphemy! Which, as a child, it used to be Florida versus California on the Sunny D. Like, and Florida always tasted better. Then they changed it to like tangy original versus like smooth breeze or something. I was like, you can't trick me. I know which one's the Florida one.
Seriously?
Yeah. I was a Florida orange snob for a bit as a child. Explains a lot about me, I think. Anyway, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank, this is Dale for our theme music, Your Nevers for doing almost all the art you see here on the channel. And if you want to get some of his art and support us at the same time, go over to our Patreon. That would be great. Throw us even $1. That'd be wonderful. And you get your beautiful face drawn into our card game, amongst other rewards if you donate higher and higher, which is great. Let's see. Aladdin commentary's out, which is picked by our Centurion Simon. We got another Disney duo coming up. We got a bunch of stuff coming. Don't you worry, pretty face. And Devil May Cry reviews coming. Now the Bloody Palace is out. I'm gonna do it. All right, Joe. Thank you for being on the show. Levi, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just the boys being back. It's great. I love having our guests on. I really do. And if you guys missed it, we've had some wonderful guests over the past few weeks. But there's something just so good about just.
I always come back to the OGs.
Exactly. The original, baby. Give me that vanilla bean. I don't know. Like, vanilla bean's also a very good ice cream flavor. You should try it sometime.
Let me guess. There's a California version, too.
It's inferior. No, there's like the New York vanilla and the French vanilla. I prefer vanilla bean. I don't need to get into the whole...
You just told me here, like, this is the greatest podcast ever. I just learned that there was a war between California Sunny D and Floridian Sunny D. It was
for my heart, yes. Like, it was a classic Troy situation. I was basically Helen of Troy, and I was like, all right, like, come get me. Yeah. Wow. So many comparisons. I'm so sorry. I'm going to wrap this up. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And just remember to adapt, overcome. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.